The town was called Holloway, a tranquil and ancient place, surrounded by dense forests and winding rivers. However, since that unsettling night, the peace of Holloway was shattered. Residents were troubled in their dreams by the same black shadow. The shadow had no distinct features, but anyone who saw it could feel the deep malevolence and ominous aura it exuded. Every time they woke up from their dreams, they would find inexplicable marks on their bodies, some like claw prints, some like tooth marks, and some even like being tightly held by an invisible hand. As time went on, these marks became increasingly severe, and some even died from them. The doctors and scientists in the town could not explain these phenomena, and they began to realize that this was not just an ordinary nightmare, but a real horror existence. The residents began to gather and try to find the source of the shadow. They read ancient documents and legends, and finally found that the shadow was actually an ancient curse of the town. A long time ago, Holloway was once a prosperous place, but due to a tragedy, a witch who was wrongly accused and executed cursed the town before she died. Her soul turned into this terrifying shadow after her death, always seeking opportunities for revenge. The witch's curse was connected to every corner of the town, her power affecting residents through dreams, and her shadow leaving marks in reality as a mark of her revenge. The people in the town realized that if they did not find a way to lift the curse soon, the whole town would fall into eternal fear and death. So, the residents of the town began a series of investigations and attempts, seeking ancient witchcraft, religious rituals, and even scientific experiments in the hope of finding a way to lift the curse. But every time they were close to the truth, someone would suddenly disappear or die, as if the shadow was warning them not to interfere. Just when the town was about to fall into despair, a young librarian found a clue to lifting the curse in a dusty old book. The book recorded an ancient ritual that required the witch's personal belongings and the purest water source in the town. After some effort, the residents found the witch's belongings and string of old necklace, and as the clearest spring water in the town. On a stormy night, the town's residents gathered at the place where the witch was executed and carried out the ancient ritual. As the ritual progressed, strange lights appeared in the sky, and the black shadow seemed to be struggling and screaming. Finally, when the ritual was completed, the sky cleared, and the shadow disappeared completely. The town's residents finally breathed a sigh of relief, believing that the witch's curse had been lifted. But just as they were preparing to celebrate, the librarian noticed a line in the old book: "Curse has never really disappeared. It has only been temporarily sealed." Jack, the protagonist, is a movie enthusiast. He found an ancient film reel in the basement of an antique shop. The film reel was covered with dust and cobwebs, but Jack's curiosity drove him to take it home. He found an old projector and placed the film into it, waiting curiously for the movie to start. As the film rolled, the image started to appear. It was a black and white silent movie that told a story about an ancient curse. The people in the film started to die one by one in the same way as the mysterious ritual they had witnessed. At first, Jack didn't care, thinking it was just part of the movie. However, when he saw the news report on several people dying in a similar way to those in the film, he began to feel uneasy. Jack decided to investigate deeply and found out the background and history of the movie. It turned out that the movie was adapted from a real curse event, and that curse seemed to be related to the film. Jack realized that he had to find the key to break the curse, otherwise he would die like those people. During the investigation, Jack found some key clues. The ritual in the film seemed to be related to an ancient cult, and the followers of this cult were trying to summon a demon called Lord of Shadows through the ritual. Jack found that to break the curse, he had to find the ritual site of the cult and perform a counter ritual on the night of the full moon. Jack arrived at the abandoned church, the site of the cult's ritual, on a night of the full moon. He started the counter ritual according to the information he found. However, when the ritual was halfway through, He heard footsteps coming from behind. He turned around and saw nothing. Suddenly, a cold wind blew, and Jack felt an invisible force knocking him down. When Jack opened his eyes again, he found himself lying on a pew in the church, with silence all around. He got up in a hurry, wanting to escape from this place, but found that he could not leave the church no matter what. He began to feel desperate. Could it be that the curse could not be lifted? At this moment, Jack noticed an old camera placed on the altar of the church. He suddenly realized that this might be the key to breaking the curse. He picked up the camera and took a photo of himself. As the shutter clicked, the door of the church suddenly opened, and Jack felt a force pushing him out of the church. Jack escaped from the church, but he did not go home. He knew that the curse might not have been completely lifted. He started to travel around, looking for those who had seen the film, telling them the truth about the curse, and helping them with the counter ritual. However, every time he helped a person, he would see a new photo in the camera, in which he was getting paler and paler, as if his life was being drained away. If you like our videos, like, follow and subscribe.